All right, old school NBA fans, self-research, NBA facts. Got another video for you. As always, thanks to anybody who watches my videos, subscribes to my channel. I really appreciate it. I want to send a very special thanks to Donnell Bailey. Man, thank you very much for the PayPal. That was really nice of you. Thank you so much. In this video here, I'm going to cover the all-time greats and who had the most three-game losing streaks in the playoffs within a single season. Who would that be? I'm sure you already know. What's funny is this player was actually tied with another player that you probably never would have guessed it. Nobody's talking about this, but now he owns the record outright. As far as I know, the player at the end owns the record for the most three-game losing streaks in the playoffs of all time. Start out with Nikola Jokic. He's had a three-game losing streak in the playoffs 3 times. Not really that bad. Giannis is 4 times. Elgin Baylor 4 times. David Robinson 4 times. Bob Pettit just twice. Then you got Kevin Durant, surprisingly, has 6 three-game losing streaks in the playoffs. I thought that was pretty high. Even though he's been around a while and all that, I just thought it was high. Kevin Garnett, 4 times. I would have thought he would have had a bunch because he got beat in the first round so many times. But no, it's only 4. Very surprised to see that one. Karl Malone has 8, and that is high, no doubt about it. George Mikan, only 1. Now, what's funny about him is a lot of the old school players in the late 40s and 50s, he'd be really the only one to be on this list. The thing that's funny about it is the fact that they had some kind of a weird round robin thing where whoever got 2 out of 3 would then advance to the conference finals. It was kind of weird. But anyway, there was not enough there. He had he plays 15 playoff series ever, something like that. So that stands to reason why only one time did he lose 3 in a row. Oscar Robertson's got 3. Not bad. Decent. Of course, he didn't play a ton of playoff series, though, either. It wasn't a first round for a lot of those players back then. But still, I include them in here because they have the potential to have 3-game losing streaks. Whenever there's an older player that has several, it'll carry more weight because they didn't have as many playoff rounds to play. Steph Curry, only once, the 2016 finals. That's the only 3-game losing streak of his career. That's pretty telling. That's really good, actually. Very good. Moses Malone, just 3 times. I thought it was more than that. Nope, only 3. Jerry West, only 3. Not bad. Here's some guys that have got a lot. And again, most of these guys have played a lot of playoff series, but there's some guys that have played a lot and don't have that many at all. So it's not just because you played the most at all. It's just because you couldn't stop the other team from beating you. That's what it was. Shaquille O'Neal, 9 times did he have a 3-game losing streak in the playoffs. But he also has the most, as far as I know, 4-game losing streaks. He's got 5 of them. 5 times Shaq was swept in a best-of-7 series 4-0. That would have been the 95 finals against Houston, the 96 Eastern Conference finals against the Bulls, the 98 West finals against Utah, the 99 semifinals against San Antonio, and 2007 when he was on Miami with Dwayne Wade. Somehow in the first round, they got swept by the Bulls. Go figure that one out. Another guy with a lot is Tim Duncan. 8 times this guy lost 3 in a row or more. Crazy, right? And then you got this guy. He didn't play as many series as Tim Duncan, but you would think Akeem Olajuwon would have 6 or 7 or something like that because he had such poor supporting cast in the middle of his career. He's just got 2. That's it. Twice. And right off the top of my head, the 1991 Lakers, he lost 3-0. And then the other one would have been the 96 Seattle, swept them 4-0 because that's the only 2 sweeps Olajuwon ever suffered in his whole career. And also his only 3-game losing streaks. Now the Sonics one was a 4, but still only 2 with that supporting cast. That's actually a monumental achievement, to be honest with you. Wilt Chamberlain had 4. I would have thought it would be more, but like I've told people in so many of these videos, just because they're playing the Boston Celtics, who have this assumption that they were so loaded with all these great players that Wilt Chamberlain didn't put up a fight against them, or all the teams basically. They only swept, one team ever in a best of 7? The Celtics? Exactly. That's why Wilt's only got 4. Larry Bird has got 6. That's, not great. It's not horrible, but it's certainly not great either. He's got 6. Dr. J has 6. 6 times he lost 3 or 4 in the playoffs. Kareem has 5. 5 times he lost 3 or more in the playoffs. Kobe has 5. Magic has 5. Kind of funny, all these guys have the same number like that. Bill Russell, just 2, twice. And I know one of them was the 67 East Finals when Philly, had the best team of the decade. They were up 3-0. That was definitely one of them right off the top of my head. And the other one, believe it or not, I think it was 68. Boston won game 1, then Philly won 3 in a row, and then Boston won the last 3. Boston actually won the series. And that does happen in here a couple times where somebody lost 3 in a row, but still won the series. It's crazy, but it does happen. Michael Jordan, he's got 4. All of his were between 86 and 89. In that 4-year stretch, every year, 86 it was 3 in a row, 87 it was 3 in a row, because they were 3-game sweeps. 88, it was a 1-1 series, and then Detroit won 3 straight. 89, the Bulls were up 2-1, and then Detroit won 3 straight. But that was it. After that, no more of that stuff. In fact, I think the Bulls only lost 2 in a row in the playoffs after 89. I want to say 4 times. That's it. They just didn't lose a lot of consecutive playoff games. The extra players that I threw in here that I normally don't include, John Havlicek, he's got 3. Charles Barkley has 4. Dwayne Wade has 8. That's high. He's drafting off of Shaquille O'Neal on at least one of them, but some of these other ones, wow, I didn't know he lost that many, but he did. 8 of them for Dwayne Wade. Elvin Hayes has 4 of them. Rick Barry, just 2. John Stockton has 7. The reason why he has 1 less than Karl Malone is because Malone went to the Lakers in 2004, and they lost 3 in a row to the Pistons in the finals. That's why there's a little difference there. And here's one that might be a little shocking to people. Isaiah Thomas, just 1. Only 1 time did he ever lose 3 in a row. I was pretty amazed by that, to be honest with you. And you know what it was? The 91 East Finals. The Bulls put that on him, and it was actually 4 in a row. So that leaves just 2 players left. Now these players, 2 days ago, they were tied with the most, losing 3 in a row in the playoffs. And the one player is Dirk Nowitzki. Dirk Nowitzki has lost 3 in a row, 11 times. 11! And I'm going to give them to you. 2001 semifinals against San Antonio. 02 semifinals against Sacramento. 03 first round against Portland, where they actually still won the series in 7. Even though they lost 3 in a row, they came back to win it in 7. In the same year, in 03, the Spurs in the semifinals. 05 against Phoenix in the semifinals. 06 against Miami, which was actually 4 in a row. 09 against Denver, and that was in the semifinals. The first round against San Antonio in 2010. The first round against OKC in 2012. Actually lost 4 in a row in that one. Got swept. 2015 against Houston in the first round. And then 2016 OKC in the first round. The 2011 Dallas Mavericks is such an anomaly that they actually won the championship. In 2010, in the first round, they lose in 6 games. In the first round. No big deal. In 2012, the next year after the championship, they get swept in the first round 4-0. And they never won another playoff series in the Dirk Nowitzki tenure after 2011. That was it. That championship was the last playoff series that Dallas won with Dirk Nowitzki there. But 2011, that 1 year anomaly, they were able to win a championship. It's actually pretty crazy. The person who now has the record of the most 3 or more losses in the playoffs, none other than LeBron James. And LeBron did it 12 times now. He now has 12 times. And just for a little bit of context, he did it in the 2000s.
And their first lead of the second half in the entire series. To Bowen. Ginobili for 3. It's good!
That's Samana.
Their true character.
This is the minute and a half. And another miss. Oh, and James tips it out.
On the verge of their 4th NBA championship. World champions. The Spurs have swept the Cleveland Cavaliers.
He also did it in the 2010s multiple times.
Mavs up 12 with just over 30 seconds to play. Boban, who else? Why not the icing?
Let it finish. Dirk going left. Seems like the way we started the playoffs, wasn't it?
Mark Cuban and the Dallas bench loving it. Right after the game ended, Dirk emotional. He went to
Cutting inside. Forrest to the right wing. Mills for 3. Good day, Lees. For the 5-year veteran from Canberra.
Spurs running away a 17-point lead.
They dominated us. They took 2 games on our home court, by 20 points apiece. They beat us by 20 tonight. You know, you have to tip your hats off to those guys.
It's all for the team, and it's never about the individual. And that's how team basketball should be played. You know, it's selfless.
And he did it in the 2020s also for good measure.
That was the foul.
Minnesota is going to win this series and knock out the Lakers, the 3 seed, 4 games to 1.
And think about this, the Lakers, whenever they've been a 3 seed or higher, they have never lost in the first round. Shocking here, because coming into this series, people...
So yeah, LeBron James 12 times has lost 3 or more games in the playoffs in his career. The first time it happened was the 2007 finals against the Spurs. Got swept 4-0, so that was a 4-gamer. The next time was in 2010 against Boston. Lost the last 3 games of that series to end the season. 2011, up 2-1, lost 3 in a row in the finals against Dallas. And that was the same with Boston in 2010, Dallas in 2011. In 2012 against Boston, they lost games 3, 4, and 5, but still won the series. That's really weird, but still a 3-game losing streak nonetheless. 2014 against San Antonio, lost the last 3 games of that series. 2015 was up 2-1 against Golden State in the finals, lost 3 in a row, lost that series. 2017 against Golden State, lost the first 3 games of that series. 2018 against Golden State in the finals, got swept 4-0. 2021 against Phoenix, had a 2-1 lead in the first round, lost 3 in a row to end the season. 2023 against Denver, get to the West Finals and get swept 4-0. 2024 against Denver, last year, the first round, lost the first 3 games. And then this year against Minnesota, with the series tied 1-1, loses 3 in a row for 12 times in his career. And I've already heard a bunch of the talking heads on TV. They're blaming Luka Doncic not being in shape. His defense is bad. They're blaming Rob Pelinka for the thin bench and yada yada. They're blaming JJ Redick, of course. And I'm not saying any of those guys don't deserve some blame, but guess who they are not blaming? You got it. They're not blaming LeBron for anything. And then whenever he gets to that point, they use, well, as a 40-year-old man, what do you expect? It's like, yeah, maybe that's true, and he does get tired or whatever. Don't vote him All-NBA then. Don't vote somebody All-NBA and then talk about how they're an MVP candidate and then don't give them any blame when they got another top 5 player in the league in their prime, and then you lose 3 in a row and get gentlemen swept. I'm not interested in hearing any of that junk. It's ridiculous. Come on. Give him some kind of blame for this. It's horrid. I mean, what are they, 12-19 since the bubble championship? I mean, come on. Somewhere along the line, you got to look and say, yeah, you know what? That actually does affect LeBron's legacy. Somehow, some way, he's got to take some kind of hit for this. To not do it is just being a biased fanboy, and you have no credibility at all. None. Anyway, that's all I got for this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, please hit the like button. If you wouldn't mind sharing it, that would be great. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. I give daily content. And that's it. Until next time.